What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. About to head to the gym for a mic'd up workout. We've got our pre-workout right here, Transparent Labs Bulk, as well as our Rice Krispie treat. We got a chest and arm workout, but I'll be talking to you guys through the entire workout. So we got our wireless mic, we're doing mic'd up. And I have not done one of these in a while, honestly, because I don't love them. I feel very uncomfortable filming at the gym, talking to the camera. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's social anxiety, something that I thought, oh, after two plus years of doing YouTube, I'd be over, but I definitely am not. I love filming in my house around my family, not really feeling like I am obligated to act a certain way or do something. But in the gym, one, I always make the excuse, oh, I'm gonna be in someone's way, I just wanna work out. But like, this isn't really too much extra work. It's just the fact that I have to have a camera pointed at me, talk to you guys, and kind of feel like a little bit socially uncomfortable. But it's gonna be something that I just need to do because I do love this YouTube thing. I definitely wanna show you guys not only what I eat, but also how I train and some training tips. So that's what we're doing today, getting uncomfortable. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get to the gym. We're starting off with the bench press. Alrighty, as I mentioned, first exercise of the day, barbell bench press. So we did a quick little warm up, about 7 minutes on the treadmill, a little bit of band work, and then also we do have a band on here as well. So these benches are a little bit slippery, especially in a hoodie. So we got this green band right here is to help with basically stabilizing the shoulders. Since my shoulder blades are pretty much gonna be up here, that's where exactly where the X crosses. But as far as warming up the dumbbell or the barbell bench press, I haven't barbell bench pressed consistently probably about 2 years or so, ever since my bulk before I started prep, which funny enough, I started prep about a year ago on the dot. So we're gonna be doing quite a bit of warm-ups. We're gonna do the bar, we're gonna do 25s on each side, 45 on each side, 45 and 25. It's basically like going from the bar to, what is it, like, I think 85? Or no, 95, then 135, 185, 225, my working sets at 265. Since we're only bench pressing twice per week, or actually starting once per week right now, this is only, I think, my like maybe 8th or 9th bench pressing session since ended prep. So we're still kind of easing back into things, making sure that form is crisp and really making sure we're warming up properly. So that's the first thing we're gonna do is just the bar. And then also I only have one headphone in right now because for some reason, these Beats, like they have these little like magnetic things, and I guess my right headphone didn't actually connect and charge, so we're walking with one headphone right now, unfortunately, so hopefully it'll charge. Might gotta throw in 2 headphones later in the day. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get the warm-ups going. As I mentioned, we're gonna start with the bar. Biggest thing here, once again, everyone's gonna have a different probably grip that they feel comfortable with. For me, I like to basically take this gnarl point, put my ring finger right on it, get a little bit of that arch, stability, and then flatten out those feet. And the biggest thing here right now is just make sure everything feels good, full range of motion. Then as I increase the weight, I'll be able to use leg drive more and more. But yeah, also I might throw this actually up on my hat just to hopefully avoid any sort of movement from the chest and the shoulders, or not the shoulders, from the hoodie. But yeah, let's go ahead and increase the weight. All right, now we'll do 95 for a few reps. And then biggest thing here too right now is we're not trying to train anywhere close to failure. We're not trying to go anywhere that would be fatiguing. It's just more so getting the body used to the movement, warming up the muscles, getting a little bit of blood flow, stuff like that. So none of these are gonna be very hard, but we'll make sure we have good form, even at the right light weight. All right, things are feeling good. And I will say this is probably gonna be an excessive warm up. Like most people can maybe go, well, depends how much you bench, but I think I'm gonna be doing like bar, 25, 45, 45, 25, 245s. I'm doing like 5 or 6 warm-up sets. It is probably a little bit excessive. I definitely will not be doing that many warm-up sets later on in the workout, but with it being the first exercise, a major compound movement, and something I haven't done in a while in terms of my actual training routine, it's gonna be okay to have a little bit more warm-up sets. And then especially since I'm only doing 2 working sets, the warm-up sets will also kind of be, just once again, getting that groove back in the form, making sure everything's feeling good as we head to the heavier weights. And then around the 185 mark is when we bring out the wrist wraps. So we got these guys, these are just like, what are these? Inzer Advanced Design. I think I got these at the Arnold Sports Festival probably like at least 3 years ago, maybe 4. So we've got these guys, we'll go ahead. I loosely put them on to start, and then basically as I increase the weight, I'll kind of tighten them up and make sure that they're closer to the wrist rather than just like kind of a little bit too low. Because I think a lot of times people wear these the wrong way. So quick little tip, we'll kind of go a little bit closer. So typically what we want is to make sure that this is supporting the wrist. So you see the wrist bends around this area. So if we're wearing our wraps too low, our wrists will still be able to bend. Ideally, we have them up a little bit higher at the actual wrist joint, supporting that. So when we bend, it's actually kind of supporting there. And that's kind of loose. We'll definitely tighten it as we go on. And then I'll also add some liquid chalk. But once again, still just a warm-up set. So we'll kind of do a little bit looser before we get into the heavier weights. I think 225 and above, I basically treat exactly like all my working sets in terms of like setup, as far as the wrist wrap, stuff like that. All right, so we got our last warm-up set here at 225, and this is really when I can kind of feel about how my actual working sets are gonna go, because it's heavy enough to kind of tell my body like, all right, hey, let's push for a PR today, or all right, maybe hold back and leave some in the tank and kind of hit that PR next week. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna do probably just a set of 2, because my working sets last week were 265 for 2 sets of 5. So here, once again, we're trying to conserve energy. We're not trying to expend it. We're just trying to get our body used to basically feeling what like a heavy weight is gonna be like on the bench. So we got our chalk on there, wrist wraps nice and tight once again, a little bit harder to move there for support. And then we'll go ahead, let's do a quick set of 2, and this once again is gonna be basically telling me, all right, we're pushing for a PR, or are we gonna maybe hold back a little bit? Okay, moved pretty well. We're definitely going back to 265, because if that was like super heavy, I might drop the weight a little bit. But yeah, we're going to 265. We're gonna probably, hopefully, grab a spot from someone for our 2 working sets, just be safe. Then hopefully, yeah, break that 5 reps that we had last week, or I guess hit a PR by breaking or hitting more than 5 reps from last week. All right, so we got our spotter here. Funny enough, he actually spotted me last week when I did this, 265, 2 sets of 5. So hopefully we're gonna get a set of 6 at some point.
No, we're going to.
Yeah, we're going to get a set of 6. Also,
probably 7.
My headphone wasn't charged earlier, so now I actually have double headphones. I don't know why, sometimes the Beats like don't charge in the case. Like I put them in there and they just don't click, or the magnet thing doesn't happen. So it's like, this is like 50% and this one's full.
Well, it's because like all these things are built to be like broken.
Dumb.
You know what I mean? Like my Apple headphones, like I've had them, you know, for a while, but
yeah,
now like the left one like doesn't charge.
I want to be able to plug it in and confirm like, oh yeah, it's plugged in and like working, but instead it just doesn't.
You have to buy another pair.
Exactly. But yeah, also he's gonna give me a lift off too. Don't recommend getting a lift off unless you have someone that knows what they're doing either, because luckily he does, but some people like either lift off too much and like kind of throw the weight out in front of you, and then you're just gonna fuck everything up. So yeah, have someone that knows what they're doing if you're gonna ask for a spot. Otherwise you're kind of, rolling the dice in the gym with someone you don't know, so yeah.
Unless you want to get tested, then
yeah, exactly. Or you truthfully want to have like a life or death set where you either get the rep or you die, but all right.
All right, let's go, Jeff. Come on. Let's go. That looks good. Come on. You got 2 more. Let's go. Come on. Give me another one. Come on. Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll take that. It's a little 2-rep PR right there. I'll say. I told him at 225, I was like, I'm gonna know if I hit 225 for clean 2 like warm-up sets, like I'll go for a PR. Damn, I did not expect that though. That was definitely better than expected.
You know, we go with that 777, that's what's popping.
There you go. We got lucky. Good news, good news. All right, so that's a PR. We're gonna take a long break. Probably let you do some sets. I might call you for round 2 here in a little bit. Cool, I appreciate it. As always, thank you. Oh my God, all right. I know. So that was, yeah, pretty much a 2-rep PR right there. So honestly, the goal by the end of this bulk, I really want 315 again for multiple reps, but for now we're kind of just rolling with the rep range. I would say like 5 to 10-ish, and then once again, when I hit the top of the rep range, I'll increase the weight and drop the reps back down. But yeah, we're gonna do a solid probably 3 to 5 minutes break until I'm, once again, basically not out of breath and feel like I can go again. And yeah, at this point, anything above 5 reps or matching 5 would be a PR, but hopefully we can get maybe 6 on set 2. Also, with this being, once again, one of those compound movements, one of the big 3, squat, bench, and deadlift, not currently squatting or deadlifting, but as far as bench press goes, this is not the quote unquote most optimal movement to grow your chest in terms of pure hypertrophy and size, but I'm willing to sacrifice maybe the little bit of optimization for the enjoyment aspect of being able to get under a barbell and bench heavy again, which I haven't done, as I mentioned, probably in like 2 years or so. I have hit 315 before, so that's definitely a goal on this current bulk, is to get that. If not, maybe this current bulk, since I'll be cutting for the summer later in the year by the end of 2024 for sure. But I'm enjoying benching, so I'm gonna still bench, even though once again, a machine chest press or dumbbells might be more advantageous for strict hypertrophy and muscle growth. I'm really enjoying this, and that's gonna be far more important than any sort of like optimization or like trying to get every little percentile of potential growth versus doing something you enjoy, that you're gonna probably train harder at, be more consistent with, and at the end of the day, once again, enjoy in the long term and make things sustainable. But probably another minute or so, and we're getting to set number 2.
Come on. Let's go. Keep it in the groove. Let's go. One more. Come on. Good, 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 good. You got it. Let's go. Come on. Good.
Didn't feel as smooth. But yeah, that's also an example of a perfectly good spot. Never touched it, but he was there just in case it did go down.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Don't touch it. Do not, unless it be there, but unless the bar falls. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm gonna get real close. Be there, but unless the bar falls, don't touch it. Just don't touch it.
Exactly. Let me grind out my last rep. So that's another PR too right there. Oh my gosh. It didn't feel as smooth though. I will say, I think that second or third rep, I don't know what it was, if I like maybe got a little too bouncy at the bottom or like something. Yeah.
When you pushed, you were a little bit lower.
Okay, yeah. It's something that feel right around that rep 2 or 3, but I'll take it. 7.6. Last week was 5.5. That's some progressive overload. Appreciate it as always. Thank you. All right, second exercise of the day, we'll go with the incline machine press. So every gym's gonna have a slightly different incline press. This one happens to be slightly converging, which is great. So you get a little bit more what we call contraction on the pecs at the top. We're gonna do a couple warm-up sets here, not nearly as many as we did on the barbell bench press. We're gonna do probably 3 warm-up sets. Actually, probably just 2, since I think my working weight is right around like 135. So we'll do 1 plate, 2 plates, and throw a 3rd plate on there. But otherwise, first things first here, just getting set up. The first warm-up set or 2 is confirming that the seat is right height, which is the biggest thing for me, because I don't wanna be pressing. If the seat's too high, like I'll show you guys here, my initial press is out and then up, which is gonna be a little bit more, once again, of like mimicking the flat chest press that we just did. So instead we're gonna drop that seat down pretty low to make sure that when I initially start pressing, it's a immediately upward direction rather than out and then up. So I recommend dropping the seat here if you're focusing on it as an incline press. We're gonna do a couple sets here. I also do a, what's it called, suicide grip, where my thumbs are above. I just notice I get a little bit better leverage when I press doing it that way. All right, things feel good there, so we got 2 plates. All right, second warm-up set right here. Once again, keeping things very, very far away from failure in terms of the warm-up. I'll probably do here, maybe like a set of 8. I'd say 8 to 10 for the first warm-up set, and then maybe a set of like, I'd say anywhere from 3 to 6 for the second warm-up set before getting into the working sets. Once again, 2 working sets here, second warm-up set. Make sure the shoulders are backing down. Control the eccentric, explode up. All right, feeling pretty good. So working sets here are actually 3 plates plus a 5 and a 2.5 for 142.5 pounds per arm. So we're gonna go ahead and load that up. I think last week, let's see, I wanna say last week was maybe like 7 and 6. Let's see here, 142.5. Yeah, last week was 7 and 6. So those are our numbers to beat this week. But I will say, coming off a PR on the barbell bench press, we might have a little bit of fatigue build up. So if I match last week's weight, I'm not gonna be too concerned about it. But obviously, we're gonna go in with the mindset trying to beat it. All right, working set 1, here we go. Still using the straps for wrist support. I'll use them on pretty much every pressing movement at the moment, with the overhead press, incline, flat, dumbbell, barbell, machine. grinder. Oh my God. All right, well, that was 8. Definitely a little bit more of a grind I would have liked, but once again, pretty much every set I'm doing right now, close to failure. I might throw in a couple partials at the end of a workout or at the end of an exercise. Like the last working set, I might do some partials, but definitely not on bench press. Don't recommend it unless you have a really, really good spotter, maybe the Smith machine. But on machines like this, you guys will see I'll do some partials at the end. Once I can't do full reps, just get a little bit extra squeeze out of there. But we'll take it. One more rep here too. Also, as far as rest times, just in general, so I definitely think people don't rest long enough. They tend to do too much volume. So typically, once again, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but I see a lot of people maybe do 4 or 5 working sets with only like a minute, minute and a half rest in between sets. And I definitely think they're kind of, they can do that volume because they aren't training as hard or as heavy, and then their rest times are shorter, so they feel like they're doing more because they're out of breath. But I think the 4 big things I like to focus on when I'm getting ready for next set is, 1, I'm no longer out of breath. Like right now, I'm still kind of breathing heavy, so I make sure we're not out of breath. 2, want to make sure there's no lingering kind of muscle soreness or fatigue going into that second set or that third set, whatever it looks like. So make sure muscles are feeling fresh. 3, that we're mentally ready to go. So we just did a really hard set. We probably need to take a minute or 2, let our kind of like get back in the zone, listen to a song, whatever it is. And 4th, for kind of lastly, just go by how you feel. I think a big thing is people don't listen to their bodies enough and realize like, okay, like, yeah, I should not be out of breath. I shouldn't have any kind of soreness or kind of still like muscle fatigue. And I should also be mentally ready. But then just once again, like give yourself enough time. I think a lot of times people under rest rather than over rest. And just take your time, make sure you can go hard and heavy in that second set. A little fatigue carryover, maybe not matching the exact number of reps is not a big deal. Biggest thing is, once again, train close to failure, high intensity. And then once again, depending on where you are in your training block, if it's a brand new exercise, probably stay away from failure. But once again, I think like week 8 or 9, this current block, so I'm kind of to the point where I'm going at least 1 or 2 reps to failure, if not all the way to failure on pretty much every set. And the volume I'm at is allowing me to do so with the calories and the recovery I have. So yeah, that's how I rest, and then probably another minute or so, and then we'll do set number 2. Under couple partials. All right, so another rep PR. Last week was 7.6, this week was 8.7. So very glad to see that going on. Body weight is also coming up pretty quickly, so I will say I do expect some PRs to happen a little bit more frequently since my calories are so high and my body weight's still increasing pretty quickly. Right around probably 3 to 4 pounds a month, which I will say is probably a little bit fast, but I'm okay with it because I can lose fat pretty easily. And I'll probably touch on that when we do a physique check later on. But yeah, also you guys notice, like when I say a grinder rep, like I'm not trying to actually slow the rep down. It's just a matter of the fact that like my force output is only so great and I can't move the weight as fast as I want to. And that's kind of what I want to see when I talk about failure, like train to failure. The reps should slow down, not on purpose, not like you're slowing your actual pressing down, but the weight gets so heavy and you're out of breath. And your body can only output so much force for that said muscle group that it automatically kind of slows down on its own, but you're still trying to like basically push as hard and heavy as you can, but the weight naturally slows you down. So yeah, that's pretty much the heavy movements. Now we're gonna do some tricep extensions, I think Y raises, and then some preacher curls. So I would say the heaviest and hardest part of the workout's done. That doesn't mean we're not gonna train as intense as we have been, so let's get to it. All right, next up we got the single arm tricep extension, and a couple ways you can kind of, in my opinion, make this a little bit more tricep, a little less forearm. So typically I see a lot of people that will just actually grab like this little ball or just above it. And in my opinion, if you have the ability to grip this, either your triceps are weak or your forearms are disproportionately strong. So one recommendation I have is you have lifting straps right here. You're gonna put those to the carabiner, wrap that around. It kind of takes the grip out of it and has a lot more ability to, once again, focus on the tricep, lessen your grip. Another option is if you have these like cuffs, I use them for basically my delt training, but once again, a lot of people put it around their ankles and stuff for glute kickbacks. You can also put that in the carabiner, like so. and then go ahead and put your hand through there. Once again, trying to limit the actual forearm grip strength and focus on making sure that's more on the tricep, and that can help as well. And personally, I found the, honestly, this cuff way to be a little bit more comfortable for me, but I know everyone doesn't have a cuff, so if you don't have a cuff, go ahead and use the lifting strap as well. But go ahead, I like to put my hand through, make sure it's pretty close to the wrist, but not quite there. And then I'll do a warm-up set here. This is a little heavy for a warm-up set. And then once again, we'll be doing 2 sets here. Biggest thing I like to stabilize, have a little bit of an anchor here with my forearm. Full extension here, trying to keep that elbow nice and quiet by the side. And honestly, whatever's most comfortable for you, if you like doing it straight on and that feels more comfortable, if you like a slight angle, whatever's most comfortable. For me, it's staggering my stance, one arm on the actual machine, or I guess the cable, and then extending down. We're doing 2 sets here. Current warm-up set is 16.5, and then working sets will be 33. All right, I got 2 working sets here. Once again, single arm, so we're gonna do a slight rest in between. Whenever I do unilateral movements, or when I do one arm at a time, I'll go ahead and do a set with my right arm, take a minute or 2, and then do a set with the left arm, just so we don't have that kind of fatigue carrying over from one arm to the other. But I will say, if you do have any sort of like strength discrepancies between your arms, just go ahead and do the weaker arm first, don't rest, and go to the strong arm, and it should pretty much even out in terms of like your strength profile based on like not having the rest in between arms. But this was last week we did 8-7, so once again, the goal is to beat that with clean reps. We got 9, but that last rep was a little iffy. Oh, we gotta wait. I always gotta remember to rest. A little bit of a rest, talking to Corey, so had a nice little long rest here. A nice long rest. And working it into set number 2. We did get 9 for the first set, so try to match that or at least get 8 here. All right, well, once again, a grinder of a last rep. Definitely not doing partials on things like biceps, triceps, shoulders, maybe a little bit of laterals, maybe, or a little bit of length and partials on shoulders might help. As far as triceps and biceps, I just pretty much do straight sets to failure. Once again, gotta take a break, remember that. But yeah, I'm gonna go do left set, or left side, I guess kind of set 2B, if you wanna call it that, after a little bit of rest. Then we'll head over, and hopefully the cable machine is open, or we'll do preacher curls next. Honestly, I'm just gonna go with whatever is available. But yeah, that's tricep extensions. All right, so the cable machine was taken, so we're gonna do some preacher curls first. Probably one of my favorite bicep movements right now, just as far as stability goes. I noticed that I'm kind of prone to cheat when I do some freestanding curls in terms of like my biceps. My elbows start to come forward a little bit, I get a little more shoulder activation, so preacher curl is really good for basically keeping my form extremely strict and then allowing the work to actually be done by my biceps. But once again, just one warm-up set here. But yeah, pretty much basically as soon as I'm done with my main compounds, I'll probably do 1, maybe 2 warm-up sets. But once again, with the tricep extensions, I'm doing like 33 pounds. I'm not gonna do warm-up set at 10, 20, and then go to 33. You could if you wanted to, I guess you have enough time, but once my muscles are kind of firing, I feel warmed up, I can go right into it. So here we're gonna be doing 3 sets actually of biceps. We will eventually get to 110 pounds. I like to do my warm-up sets at like 50, then we'll go to 110 after that. The first couple warm-up sets, or first couple reps right here, were way too fast, so try to control it. But biggest thing, once again, get under some weight, see if the seat's at the right height, make sure everything's feeling good. This is the point of axis, so try to keep your elbows around the point of axle, I guess, point of rotation, I guess. And then here we're gonna go to 110. I think last week we did, if I'm not mistaken, I think 987, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that real quick. let's see, yeah, we did 987 at 110. So hopefully we can go maybe, yeah, we're gonna see if we can increase some weight, but once again, we pretty much PR'd almost every single exercise in terms of 1 rep added to every set so far today. So yeah, it's been a good day, but I will say once again, at the rate of weight increase I'm at right now, I should be hitting pretty much a PR every week. At least, once again, once a week, because I only hit this exact exercises and muscle groups. Well, I guess not the muscle groups, the exact exercises once a week. So it's pretty much been a week since I hit these, so I should at least get 1 rep or 5 pounds, something like that, at the bulking rate we're at. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do our first working set. All right, we got 10. All right, set 1 was a success. We got 10 reps. So feeling pretty good. I will say that that last set was, or the last rep was definitely a struggle. So feeling a little bit of tightness in the bicep at the moment, even after about 3 minutes of rest, which once again, I wouldn't say tightness in a bad way, just more so like that first set was definitely really hard, which it should be. So we'll see what we can do. Set number 2. Ouch. A little bit painful. I mean, once again, not painful, just in the sense of like the biceps are burning a little bit after that set. Didn't, I guess, get the extra rep that set. So last week was 987, so far 10-8. Hopefully we can match 7 after a little bit of rest. Once again, not every single set should be a PR, especially once again if you're honestly probably doing things right, not gaining weight as quickly as I am. Sometimes it might be just 1 single set of the entire workout you get a PR on or increase a rep, and sometimes that's all it takes. And once again, those little wins add up over time. Adding a rep here and there every other week, 5 pounds once a month. I mean, 5 pounds once a month is once a month is what, 60 pounds a year. And just imagine, I mean, once again, adding 60 pounds to your bench press in a year, that's kind of insane. But you break it down into once a month, it's just 5 pounds a month. And if you're once again gaining, doing everything right, recovering properly, getting your protein, calories in, 5 pounds a month, a couple reps here and there, should definitely be possible if everything else is on point, especially sleep and volume. But yeah, 1 more set here. All right, 3rd final set. Goal is 7, nice control. No. Damn. All right, well, gained 1 rep on the first set, lost a rep on the last set. Hey, it is what it is, so 10, 8, 6 today. I will say once again, if you gain a rep on the first set, you're probably gonna have extra fatigue going to the next 2. So it is what it is, but we got 1 exercise left, and that's gonna be the wide raise on the cable. So, yeah, it looks like they're actually both being used. So I'm gonna have to hang out for a little bit until one of those are available. All right, the last exercise of the day, we have the cable Y raise. Also, as far as when setting up a cable machine, I definitely recommend keeping track of kind of like the setup in your notes. So for me, I know on the cable machine, or just like a freestanding cable machine, as you guys can see here, Like, so I keep track of these numbers right here to know exactly like where I want to set things up that's been comfortable for me. So for me, it's number 5 up here, and then the lowest arm on this guy, which is I believe 12. So that's kind of what I keep notes in my, once again, you can do it in Excel if you have an actual app you track things on, or even just your note sheet just to keep track of what's comfortable for you. So we're gonna be doing the Y raise. I go pretty light on these. Once again, it's a new movement. It's something that's gonna be more focused on making sure you get good mind-muscle connection, time under tension. We're gonna be aiming for the kind of probably 10 to 15 rep range. I think I did this last time. It's only 13 pounds per arm. I think it was like maybe 15 was the very top. But once again, this is much more just making sure we get a good full range of motion. So here, once again, we wanna make sure we're pulling out in a Y pattern, making sure we keep our arms out, slight bend in the elbows, making sure we have a good firm wrist. Bring it up and back. I can't talk and lift at the same time. And I already lost count, so we're just gonna go to failure. No. All right, so once again, I lost lost track of how many reps I did there, but close to failure, basically going until I can't do one extra rep in that regard. And then, I don't know if that's even focused on me or not nowadays. I think it was focusing over there, so sorry if that was blurry. But yeah, pretty much gonna do 3 sets there. I'll do another set and get you guys a different angle. I'll probably just not film the 3rd set since it feels repetitive. But biggest thing there, once again, let your shoulder move. Your shoulder's supposed to move. It's not supposed to be static. So you guys will notice my shoulders kind of come forward a little bit at the top, and then all the way up and back. I'm allowing my shoulder to just rotate how it normally does, allow my scapula to move freely, not trying to be too strict with it, and make sure that, once again, the rear delts are firing. So yeah, 2 more sets there, but I'll get you guys a different angle, show you guys what it looks like from the back. Also, a quick tip, if you're ever trying to get a piece of equipment or somebody's using something, I think a lot of times people go up and ask how many reps they have left or how many sets they have left, and instead of saying like, oh yeah, I have 3 sets, but you can work in if you want, they normally just say the number of sets and they don't offer to let you work in. I try my best to always make sure if someone asks me how many sets I have left, I'll always offer to let them work in. But instead of asking how many sets they have left, just ask, hey, can I work in? They're a lot less likely to say no to that than they are just to say basically like, yeah, sure, why not? So if you ever are in a time crunch, somebody's using something you want to use and there's only like 1 or 2 pieces of equipment at your gym, just ask to work in. 99% of the time, they'll probably say yes. If they say no, they're a dick, and just don't ask them next time. All right, time for set 2 of 3. Once again, give you guys a slightly different angle. All right, 1 more set, all the way to failure, and then we're gonna head into like the multi-purpose room and do a little physique check. Yeah, we're looking fluffy, but I'll be honest and show you guys what we're looking like. All right, the time has come for the physique check you guys have all been waiting for. So since I haven't been filming much in the gym, I haven't really done many physique checks, as well as just from my mental state, coming off of prep and pretty much being about, I think almost what? I think I started at like 150 pounds, I think was like the stage weight was like 150. Now we're close up to like high 170s. I started prep this time last year around, I think like 182, 183. So about 27-ish pounds up from stage weight. So definitely getting to that point where I'm definitely not as lean as I like to be, but we're kind of embracing the fluff a little bit as we once again come to like the end of this bulking phase before a little summer cut. But yeah, we're just gonna run through some poses. Honestly, a little rusty with the posing too, so might as well have some fun with that. But yeah, definitely abs are barely hanging on. Leg growth has definitely been nice, so that's been I guess a plus from the little bulking phase we're on, and definitely feeling more full, but at the same time definitely a little bit fluffier than I'd like to be. But yeah, we'll run through the basic poses, at least the ones I can remember from prep and posing, and then yeah, well, right now, calories around 3,000 a day. Definitely eating a little bit more than that majority of the time when I travel. Went up to visit Katie's family this past weekend, and then weight right around like 177-ish. All right, that's what we're looking like. Definitely, once again, as I mentioned, abs are barely hanging on. Definitely in the high teens in terms of body fat percentage. Exact percentage, no idea, don't really care. And the biggest thing too is, once again, like, I know I can lose fat pretty quickly. Last prep kind of proved to me I have the discipline to do that. So not concerned with putting on, I would say, maybe a little bit too much fat or being in excessive bulk at the moment. I'm honestly enjoying life, eating, work on the cookbook. So just eating a lot of food and kind of out of my basic routine. Like normally my workouts are pretty much streamlined, or not my workouts, my nutrition is pretty much like the same thing on a daily basis. But right now with the amount of travel I'm doing, hot, I'm out of breath too. I need to start doing some cardio. But yeah, I'm okay with it. Once again, embracing the bulk, the strength gains. Once again, I do hold most of my fat kind of in my midsection. Like my legs are definitely still plenty lean, which is good and bad. But yeah, that's gonna be a wrap on today's video. If you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, hit a couple PRs. Weight is going up slowly. Probably gonna cap this bulk out no matter what, around like 185. Whether I hit that in like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Definitely gonna be starting my cut by June, maybe May at the earliest. So we'll kind of see how things go then. But yeah, until then, we're gonna be bulking, putting as much size and strength on as possible. Definitely gonna do some more of these videos. Maybe we have Corey at some point, do like a mic'd up with him, or even Katie. And then, yeah, without further ado, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys next time. Peace.